South African authorities have begun implementing stringent measures to regulate local Spaza shops in the country. Now, the move is necessitated due to a recent death of children who consumed poisoning food items from Spaza shops that instigated public anger in local communities, and many of the Spaza shops are said to be owned by foreign nationals. The country's president has since given directive for proper regulations of the Spaza shops, prompting the closure of over 1,000 shops, which, however, did not go down well with some of the actors. Now, let's have more details of that in this report.
The Spaza shop industry is an important sector in the country. It accounts for 30 to 40% of the country's annual food expenditure. Spaza shops also provide employment opportunities, especially for women in areas with few jobs. A.B. Muache is one of the thousands of Spaza shop owners in the country. The Soweto-based businessman's family depends on him for sustenance.
We started this business 2021 because of unemployment rate. So I started to, I thought of starting this business so that we can sustain the family and for our debts and all those things.
The recent deaths of children who consumed tainted food from Spaza shops have heightened public outcry. Since many Spaza shops in South Africa are owned by foreign nationals, locals are directing their anger at them as well as the government. President Cyril Ramaphosa recently announced that Spaza shops have to reapply for permits to operate. This is to ensure proper compliance and possibly curb the deaths. That process has now led to over 1,000 non-complying Spaza shops being shut down. These include many foreign national-owned Spaza shops. Some organizations that represent the foreign national Spaza shop owners are blaming the government for delaying the renewal of asylum papers that allow them to legally own these shops.
Everyone was trying to submit the documents, but the office may have its own reasons. But whatsoever the reason is, these people were trying to abide to the rules and the regulations, but the office hasn't approved, has said nothing at all. If they failed, if these Spaza shops failed to meet the requirements, it's understandable. But if they can't present the asylum seeker paper, I think denying registration due to lack of asylum papers, it contradicts the value of Ubuntu, which emphasizes compassion, humanity, and the community.
But the government says the shops have been shut down only due to non-compliance.
Dealing with this outbreak, we will continue our efforts to ensure that all food handling facilities, including manufacturers, comply with business and health regulatory requirements. We need to explain that we are dealing with two distinct processes. The first process is business compliance, where you need to register the Spaza shops or any food handling business. The second process is compliance with health regulation. This second process does not depend on whether you are registered or not. If you don't comply with health regulation, the business is closed down.
The government has now agreed to extend the registration date of the Spaza shops to February next year.